Discover the pristine beauty of the world's ultimate sailing haven, the British Virgin Islands, a place where unmatched luxury meets unspoiled nature. Dive into the crystal clear turquoise waters and stroll along beaches of the purest white sand. Experience breathtaking views that stretch beyond the horizon. Explore our 60 enchanting islands and keys at your leisure. Start your day with a sun-kissed breakfast on one island, savor a delightful lunch on another, and cap it off with a sumptuous dinner under a starlit sky on yet another. Every day promises a new adventure and a new paradise to uncover. Renowned as a premier tourist destination, we invite you to immerse yourself in the exclusive charm and warm hospitality of our shores. Whether for a night or a prolonged stay, come and see why our visitors consistently choose us as their escape from the ordinary. Take a listen to the Premier of the Virgin Islands as he talks on Overnight Visitors.
Premier, we are here in the most beautiful place in the world, as you adequately said. And now, as a Premier of the Virgin Islands, you are perhaps one of the most envious persons right now. You are here as the Premier and as a man of the Virgin Islands, looking at this beautiful scenery. We see the boats. I think that's Norman Island there. Talk to me about, what you feel, not as the Premier, but as a man of the soul, as a BV Islander with this beautiful emphasis in the background.
Well, I think that we are incredibly blessed. God has been so good to us to allow us the opportunity to grow up in a place that so many people in the world want to visit and want to live.
Yes.
And sometimes we take it for granted just because we're here all the time. But this is what our guests come to experience. And this is the reason why the Virgin Islands has some of the highest rates of return visitors anywhere in the world. Whenever you speak to individuals, they'll tell you they've been coming here since they were a little child. Their parents brought them, and then they're going to be bringing their children here. And so that every generation in their family will have the opportunity to experience the Virgin Islands.
I love that. We have 60 islands and keys, something that a lot of different islands don't have, and so we brand that very proudly. However, there's a lot of different islands here in the Caribbean and abroad that have the same thing that we have, sun, sea, and sand. What makes the Virgin Islands different? What makes it better? What makes it the point where everyone wants to come back?
Well, we're the sailing capital of the world. You mentioned the 60 islands and keys. And that presents a unique experience because just as we're here by Norman Island, right here at the Bight, you have the opportunity to sail to different anchorages. You can go to Guana Island, you can go to Peter Island, you could go over there to the Baths and Virgin Gorda, you can go White Bay, Jas Van Dyke. You have destinations within a destination, and that presents a very unique experience. But also, I truly believe that part of the reason why so many people return here is because of the warmth and hospitality of the people. People feel safe here. They also, love the interaction they have with the persons who work at the different hospitality sites and all of the different people who they interact with, whether it's the taxi men and women or all the other persons they meet and become lifelong friends.
So I heard someone say, I think it was someone at the tourist board, that you can have breakfast in Tortola, lunch in Jas Van Dyke, and dinner in Virgin Gorda. I never quite pictured it that way, but that's absolutely true. So with all of these wonderful natural things that we have, where you can literally jump from island to island, from key to key, and really enjoy the beautiful British Virgin Islands, talk to me about how you feel today, 2024. We are recovering wonderfully from 2 devastating hurricanes, and of course, the rest of the world, including the Virgin Islands, with COVID. We are now at a steady stream. What does that mean to you today?
Well, we've been resilient. We've had 2 Category 5 hurricanes. Obviously, it destroyed a lot of our properties. And around 2016, the year before we had those storms, we had a record year in tourism. And for our overnight tourists, we had over 400,000 tourists.
Wow.
And of course, since then we've fallen from that because of the hurricanes, and not just the hurricanes. We had the devastating pandemic.
Correct.
Now we're dealing with inflation due to all of the global conflict that we have. So we have some factors working against us. But despite that, our tourism product remains unmatched. It remains very attractive, and persons love the experience of coming to the Virgin Islands. So last year, we had the second best tourism numbers we've had in our history. But when you look at our overnight guests, we had over 250,000 guests. This year, our first quarter numbers tell us that we are up 20-30% across all categories.
Wow.
So we expect to have better overnight numbers this year than last year. And very soon, you'll see us get back to the numbers that we have of 2016 of 400,000 overnight guests. And that will be assisted by all our partners, whether it's Peter Island coming back on stream, whether it's the Nanny Key expanding, the moorings expanding, Norman Island developing. There's so many individuals who are doing developments, including places like Joma Properties,
Yes.
with our own local investors that we're so proud of. When these properties come on stream, we are going to see our overnight guests shoot through the roof. You have Prospect Reef, which will be having a hotel very soon. And we will be extending our runway, which will allow bigger planes to come from further distances. So the prospects for our tourism product are great, and persons just have to get involved in the hospitality sector. As opposed to standing on the outside saying that there are not enough opportunities in the Virgin Islands, you have to get involved in the areas which are booming, and that is tourism.
Love
you can
that.
be a captain of a lovely boat like the boat we are on right now, courtesy of the moorings, or you can be a chef. Of course, you know, you can drive taxis, you can be a part of enhancing the guest experience, you can manage a property. There's so many opportunities in hospitality, including things like graphic design and IT and marketing. There's so many
The
opportunities.
sky is the limit.
Yes.
Now you sit here, or you stand here, sorry, and you proudly wear the branded British Virgin Islands Tourist Board shirt.
Yes.
Now, the Tourist Board has a huge job on their hands. Expectations are extremely high. I want to say thanks to them for allowing us to be here as they really put this here together for me. But what are your expectations for the Tourist Board proper? There's a lot of things going on. We know that cruise tourism is up. We are excited to see that overnight tourism is getting wonderful. What more would you like from the entity of the Tourist Board itself to get us to better than we were prior to COVID and prior to the hurricanes?
Okay, well, this is a competitive industry that we're in. So we always have to remind persons about how wonderful the Virgin Islands is. But the good thing about it is, once they visit here, they return. But there's still some persons in the world who do not know about the Virgin Islands.
Yes.
Because, of course, for many years we've marketed ourselves as nature's little secrets, which was a wonderful slogan for us. But we want more persons to know about the Virgin Islands. We want to get the message to different markets. We want persons in Latin America
Right.
to discover how beautiful the Virgin Islands is. We want more guests from Europe. And of course, we have some areas in the United States which are very popular for us, but we want to go to the West Coast. We want to go to the Midwest. We want to make sure in southern United States, they know all about the Virgin Islands. We want to get more persons from Canada, all those snowbirds who during the summer want to be able to experience this type of environment when it's cold in Canada.
Love that.
Yeah, so it's a big job. It's
So-
a very big job for the Tourist Board.
I wanted to make sure I ask you, Premier, before you lose your thought. You mentioned Europe and Canada and parts of the US. And so how important is it for the BVI Tourist Board to travel to these countries and these areas to ensure that persons are aware that the Virgin Islands exist, that we are indeed the best island in the Caribbean. I'm going to say the world like you did because I certainly believe it. I literally feel like a tourist standing up right here.
Yeah.
But how important is it for the tourist board to travel and spread the word and market, which is their job, and bring people back here in the Virgin Islands?
It's extremely important, and sometimes persons criticize persons for traveling.
Yes.
But you have to travel to be able to market the Virgin Islands. The tourist board and our ambassadors, whether it's Miss BVI, whether it's the Fungi bands, whether it's the Makajumbis, whoever it is who's going to go and be ambassador for the BVI, including the junior minister for tourism and culture, and including the premier in some instances, because when you go and you attend these road shows and you attend these trade shows and you attend these events which are helping you to market the Virgin Islands, it says something when you have a presence. When you're there, it shows that you care, that you want persons to come. And trust me, our competitors are out there.
I know.
Fighting for every single guest. So if we're not there, we're out of the game.
Right, out of the room, out of the game. Now, Premier, we are here. We wanted to show everyone how gorgeous the Virgin Islands is. We have in the background Norman Island. Now, speak to those persons who may not know about the Virgin Islands and explain to them why they should come here. What are we doing to ensure that our guests have a wonderful experience? And as the Premier of these beautiful islands, why is it important for them to come and, as you said, be return guests?
Well, of course, we have our wonderful sailing waters, which are on display today. But of course, we have wonderful restaurants. You have a nice restaurant right here on Norman Island. You have the world famous Willie T's. And of course, we have experiences for persons who are on the waters. And persons can go to an anchorage and they can go into a beach and they can enjoy some of the most beautiful beaches anywhere in the world, right here in the Caribbean. But it's not just about our natural environment. It's not just about the world famous bats with all of these volcanic rocks, you know, sitting there on the beach forming all of these wonderful caverns where light is just seeping through crevices and shimmering on the water. It's not just about that. It's also about our people and our culture. So persons can come to the Virgin Islands and they can sample some tamarind juice,
Correct.
or some sorrel, or
Right.
some limeade. They can get some marby, and they can have some of our rums, like rum from our Calwood distillery. And of course, you can sample things like our pea soup and our pumpkin soup, and you can have our fungi and fish and mayonnaise sauce.
Those delicious food that I like. And you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
say pea soup with sugar, but that's my preference.
Yes,
But-
and that is my preference
So
as well.
that's the
Milk
verdict.
and sugar.
So it has to have that. So, Premier, we brought you out here so that you can show the people, the world, how beautiful the Virgin Islands is. And when I say the world, I mean the world. I mean persons in the Virgin Islands. I mean your neighbors in Virgin Gorda, your family in East End, my family in Seacoast Bay, because it's important for us as Virgin Islanders to experience the Virgin Islands as a tourist too. We also need to be able to come here and experience this beautiful island and not just go to work 9 to 5. So I'm going to let you have the last, I don't know, 5 seconds or so, and really talk to the people of the Virgin Islands, your people also, on how important it is for them to enjoy what nature has to offer, what people pay so much money to enjoy that we have here as well.
We have a wonderful tourism product, and people from all over the world love it, and they tell you how much they love the Virgin Islands. They tell you how much we are living in paradise right here. But sometimes we who live here, we don't even realize what a blessed opportunity we have to live here. So it's important for us to experience what the guests experience so we can help sell it, because tourism is everybody's business. So if you know the tourism product, you better be able to sell it to someone, whether it's a friend who lives abroad or someone who's coming here for the first time and needs advice in terms of what they can do. And we want more persons from the Virgin Islands to get involved in the industry. You know, take the opportunity to build, like Joma Properties are building a hotel. You don't have to build a hotel. You can build a nice little villa, because of course in the Virgin Islands we are landowners. We have access to property. And of course, many persons build apartments for persons who work in the Virgin Islands to live. You also have the opportunity of building a nice villa and having an Airbnb or something like that, or some other company who manages bookings. Get involved in the tourism product, and let's do our part in selling the Virgin Islands. Let's not tear down the Virgin Islands. Let's do our part to sell it to everybody, because this is going to help everyone's livelihood.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Premier of the Virgin Islands, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley. We are here in the beautiful Virgin Islands seashore. As we can hear, a wonderful boat that is passing by. Our background is Norman Island. We thank you, Virgin Islands. We have the wonderful tourist that is passing by. And we want to wish everyone a safe trip, and they come here, whether it be Virgin Islanders, persons from abroad. And we want to thank those persons that their job is to bring persons here. So thank you to Tourist Board again for bringing this together for us. And Premier, thank you so much for taking time of your busy schedule to enjoy your nature to the at your beautiful Virgin Islands.
It's always a pleasure, Carrie, and you're immaculately dressed against an immaculate backdrop.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello BVI and hello world. We are here in the awesome Virgin Islands, the beautiful Virgin Islands, and in our background we have gorgeous Norman Island. And I'm here with Mr. Ted Funston, General Manager for the Moorings, and he has graciously allowed us to use this boat to just talk to the people of the world and to say how beautiful the Virgin Islands is and why you should come here to the Virgin Islands. Now, Ted, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for graciously allowing us to use this beautiful vessel. You are brand new to the Virgin Islands. Let's talk about you as someone who is brand new, who is coming from a place that does not have the weather that we have. No. How has your experience been so far?
Yeah, well, thank you and welcome. It is paradise here, isn't it, with the Bight and in the background. But I did move here with my family from Western Canada about 6 months ago, and it's been wonderful. We came down in June to see the possibility of it, and my wife and I immediately decided it is paradise, and this is what we want to do. And what struck us immediately was, of course, the beauty and the wonderful sailing here, which is a big thing for us, but it's the friendliness of the people as well. And since we're raising young children, we just decided this would be a wonderful place to live and to play and to sail, and so we love it.
Love that. So you're here now, not as a tourist, but as a resident of the Virgin Islands. You're working. How important is it for you to ensure that the brand that you're wearing is the best at what it is? We are the sailing capital of the world. What are you doing to ensure that persons that come here to have their sailboats here, to enjoy the waters, the caves, the different islands, have the best experience possible?
Yeah, you bet. And the moorings, it actually started in the BVI in 1969, and it started with 6 boats, and we're currently near about 300 boats.
Wow.
And so, you know, the Moorings is one of the world's largest charter companies, and it is a premium yacht charter company. But the BVI is home, and it is the crown jewel of the family. And so the BVI is extremely important to us in the company. And certainly with the hurricanes getting behind us and COVID getting behind us, and at the base, we've been investing quite a bit to not only bring the base back, but improve the base as well. And the good news is that we are getting back to pre-COVID levels of tourism right now. And we'll run about 5,600 charters a year and about 25,000 guests a year. And so our focus is just to be the best and the most premium charter company in the world. So that's the, what we're on today is a beautiful 53 Leopard Power Cat, and it's just one of the gorgeous yachts within our fleet. So running one of the world's largest and most beautiful charter bases, we have a very high expectations on on us, both from the guests and from ourselves. And so we just work every day to ensure the boats are well maintained and clean, and that people are coming out and having these wonderful holidays out here.
Now, I read somewhere that this is one of your better seasons, and you're looking at the wonderful projection in terms of the amount of persons that are coming at the moorings. Talk to us about the expectations for the rest of the year.
Yep. Yeah, so like I say, business has been getting back to pre-COVID levels, and we are seeing growth, and I think that's good for all of us. And we're experiencing double-digit growth currently and for the last year, and then going into 2025 as well. So there's no question that from around the world there is demand for holidays in the BVI, and we're seeing it, and we're glad to see the whole island experiencing that as well. So we're definitely in a positive direction here.
Well, we know that, as the Premier had said previously, this is the sailing capital of the world, and we maintain that fact. So Moorings is one of many boat companies here in the Virgin Islands, and we thank them all for being a part of what we need to keep our country alive, to keep all of the money flowing through it. But I can say, I'm not the Premier, but I'm pretty sure one of the things that the Premier would look for is to ensure that a company like yours give back to the community. Talk to me about what you are doing currently right now to give back to Virgin Islanders, to make sure that we have not only confidence that you are making money and you're doing good, but the people of the Virgin Islands are actually doing good as well.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, we do have over 300 staff, of which more than 50% are BVI Islanders. And we've actually just come up with an exciting new program, which is a Skippers Academy. And what we're targeting is local skippers, aspiring skippers that want to get into the yachting industry. And so what we're announcing today and offering is it's a 4-month program where we'll be sending these young aspiring skippers to the United Kingdom to take Royal Yachting Association Yachtmaster training, and at the end of the 4 months they will have the senior designation of Yachtmaster Offshore. And we're just very excited about that, because we do want to be developing local talent and BVI Islanders into professional captains, and so that's a program we have right now. And also we do encourage BVI Islanders to come out and apply with us. We're hiring in all kinds of areas. We have chefs, cooks, we run a hotel, we're maintaining the boats, we're always looking for technicians and riggers, so we really do encourage people to come out, and we love to find good people, of which we find many.
I love that. So, in case you didn't hear Virgin Islands, Ted, the general manager, just literally said they are looking for persons in every aspect of what they have. The boats, the moorings, the hotels, and most importantly for me, you literally just said that you are able to give Virgin Islanders a chance to become skippers and captains, correct? No cost to the Virgin Islanders. What's the catch?
What's the catch?
What's the catch?
The catch is, I wish that I was 22 years old and a young aspiring captain, and I could go to the United Kingdom for 4 months. But I'm very excited for the young people that we're going to encourage to apply, and so the only catch is that they get to become professional captains and have a great career in the yachting industry.
Well, you have set the bar extremely high, Ted. So for all of the other boat companies that are out there, I'll be sure to watch in. We would love to have that. I know that the Premier will speak about that on another time, about how wonderful of an initiative that is to allow Virgin Islanders to not only get some degrees, but actually explore the world and get to the UK and see things from a different lens. Now, Ted, we are here. We say thank you for allowing us to be on this beautiful vessel. What do you have to say to other persons here, other persons that want to come here to the BVI, and why should they come to the BVI, enjoy the Virgin Islands?
Yeah, because of this. It is the best sailing in the world. I got to meet a famous sailor named Dee Kafari, and she has raced around the world 7 times. And she was here as a Sunsail ambassador, and she very clearly said that this is the best cruising sailing in the world. So, I mean, she's been racing around the world, but when she comes here, it is her favorite cruising sailing in the world, and that's someone who would know. So this is it. This is the best in the world, and it is a lot about the boating and the sailing, but it's also about all the experiences you can have on the beaches and the islands and in the great restaurants and all the other tourism businesses that are out there. So it's the advice I was given when we moved here 6 months ago was, on days off, act like a tourist. And so it's something that we do, and we do our best to be tourists here as well, because we love it, and it is the best in the world.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Ted Funston, General Manager for the Moorings. We want to say thank you once again for, enabling us to be here, being part of the economy that is flowing. We want to say to the Virgin Islanders and persons that can hear my voices, the Virgin Islands is a gorgeous place. It's a beautiful place. The Premier talked about how beautiful it is. We encourage folks to come and experience what we see every day. We are very proud to say that the economy is growing. The numbers are getting better as per the Premier. And so we just wanted to encourage everyone to embrace what we have here, Virgin Islanders, locals, visitors abroad. Come to the Virgin Islands and experience what you see here. I'm Kara Christopher. Thank you so much.